the home office.
"8 a.m. Wednesday morning at some point in the year. Steve is at his desk in his office, home. Disciplined as always, he has checked the levels. They are up, and so is his heart rate.
Better check my blood pressure after I've checked the emails.
His wife, Kate, is calling from across the corridor in their home office.
Good morning.
Hi.
Just checking you've ordered the shopping for Ned's birthday. You did remember he's coming back this weekend.
Bugger.
Do I have to do everything myself?
I'm on it.
No, don't bother. I'll get the stuff on expedite in my lunch hour. Gotta go, call with Lagos. See you.
9 a.m. Steve is reading a document on his screen. Jeff, with one E, is calling. Steve reluctantly takes the call.
Well, I'm fucked. I said I'm fucked with an F and an E. Are you listening, Steve?
Sorry, Jeff. I've got a document I've got to read for a meeting at 10.
Right, well. Okay.
What, is it, this time?
Here's the story. As we all know, there's no need for the deficit plan mooted last time, because we've signed a lucrative contract with Generation AI to train their servers on our company's products.
Yes, good news.
Ha! Fake news. What about intellectual property, I shout. What about burning up the planet with every prompt that gets sent, I inquire. Absolute caps lock fest.
Yes, and...
Well, I put some comments in an email. A joke, to be precise.
Oh, really?
Why did the creative writer break up with their AI? Because every time they asked for inspiration, it just gave them a top 10 most average ideas list.
That's not even very funny.
Yeah, well, Lance, the casual in Normandy, replied to the whole of the subdivision, and it got fed up to Maris, who was fed up. These days, I say these days, if you make a joke about the company, they put you in jail. I mean, it was just a joke. Don't these robot managers have a sense of humor? I think I might go to Prague in the spring, visit Frank Kafka's grave.
He really is the patron saint of office workers.
Him and Dave Knob.
Anyway, I can't really comment on your trial.
Why the Foucault not?
Well, for a start, I'm actually on your disciplinary panel at 10. Better end the call here.
Jeff disconnects. 11 a.m. Steve is in his home. He is preparing a document to send to Generation AI, outlining the process by which his company generate their products. Ned is calling.
Hi, son. Looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
Hi, father. Got a bit of an old problemo.
You mean challenge, son?
No, a problem.
Is it with your history assignment on the Luddites?
No, it's the professor evaluations.
Oh, that. I remember that from the first episode. Hope they're still paying you well.
Not enough to get rid of my misgivings. Here's the story. A history lecturer made a joke about Chairman Meow, which went down like a cat call with the international students in his class. Thing is, father, I really ought to put that in my evaluations, but I'm worried he'll lose his job.
It's what you're paid for, son. Do your job, stick the knife in.
Thanks, Dad. Good advice as usual. See you on Saturday, and don't forget the Jack Will sweater I asked for.
A landscape. Jeff comes into shot from behind, walking his dog over a bridge in a rural location. He stops and looks over the bridge into the landscape. The camera pans away from him towards a factory. Clock says 3 p.m.
Steve has given up trying to write his process document for Generation AI. It will not be prompt. Does it matter, he wonders? Will anyone notice? Will his stock go down in the corporation? Inserting stock media might help. What should he get Ned for his birthday? Why is Ned the word den backwards? So many questiones. Who could answer them, if not himself? He opens up his genre thriller file. The writing seems distinctly average. Better to get back to work. Three seconds later, Steve goes into the kitchen to make a cup of coffee. Then he gets the washing out of the machine, leaves it in the basket, like an email resting in the drafts folder, proving you used your loaf. Steve sits in front of the television. His pussy, who is called Cat, sits on his knee. They watch a legacy episode of Catphrase, where common people guess a set of generic cliches or catphrases generated from the psyche of the most average languaged brain.
I've got this one. Pot calls the kettle a POC.
4 p.m. Steve is back at his desk checking the levies. Jeff with a J, an E, and an F is calling.
Well, it could have gone worse.
I couldn't possibly comment.
Hold on, just got an email from Eleanor in HR. The subject seems to be re-education. Mandatory training. Oh no, sorry, it's actually regarding education mandatory training.
I really can't open my mouth.
It's just a generic email, potty mouth training. Let me read it to you.
If you must.
Dear Jeff,
They've spelt my name with 2 F's for F's sake.
I hope you're doing well.
Don't even think about going on the sick.
I wanted to take a moment to touch base about an email you recently sent where you made a joke about the company. While we encourage a positive and light-hearted work environment,
In your office, home,
it's important that all communications, especially in written form, maintain a level of professionalism and respect.
Check dem levels.
As part of our ongoing efforts to support effective communication, I'd request that you complete the mandatory communications training module.
That module incorporates corporate branding.
Matron!
That'll learn you.
I'm sorry to have to say this, Stephen Jeef, but this is the most ill-disciplined episode so far. Please remember that contract negotiations are in place when it comes to the final episode of the series.